So
But
as
I
we're
get
getting going here, thank you so much for participating in this process. Is there anything that you need in order to be fully present and feel?
Nah, nope. I think I'm good. I'm here. I got my cup of tea. I got my
Oh,
notes. It's bright and early in the morning for me. And yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your offer today.
so I know that you had sent me a little bit of information about what was important for you to talk about today, but I would love to just have you, kind of run me through what's showing up as most important for this conversation today.
I think it's, I guess it is to work out how I feel about and maybe what I can do about a project that I'm working on. I've been working on this project for 2 years. It's sort of grown, grown bigger than I was expecting, hoping, anticipating. And it's become something that it started as something that I thought could be a possibility of something good. And it feels like a weight around my neck and dragging me down. And I sort of go between, do I just throw the whole thing in and, forget all the time and effort I've put into it? Or do I somehow go for it and make this work?
So I'm really hearing the weight around your neck and sort of this, I'm almost seeing this person with this burden they're carrying on their back like a yoke. What would be different if we explore this fully by the end of the conversation today? Maybe a movement from this weight towards what?
I guess if I felt a certain lightness around it, and an energy, just the word acceptance is coming up as well. Maybe an acceptance, of where I can go with it. Yeah, it's not an impossible project, but I just don't have the motivation. And I've actually had some coaching around this before, and I sort of get a bit of motivation for a while. I go, yeah, okay, I can do that thing, and it doesn't last. And then I think, oh yeah, I can be motivated, and then I say to myself, who are you kidding, Carol? You're not motivated around this.
So the lightness is really aligned with motivation. Is that what you're saying?
I guess it is. Yeah, I guess the lightness is. Yeah, I suppose if there's a lightness and an energy that would help me feel more motivated, and that just brings up a thought for me that probably at this point in my life, I'm not looking for massive challenge. I'm not. I'm looking more for something that I enjoy and get a satisfaction out of. I'm not looking for massive challenge and do something really hard.
Don't need the super heavy, challenging weightlifter experience.
No.
So if the idea then is to explore between this weightiness towards this motivated lightness, where would you like to begin the exploration? Like, what is showing up as something that you feel called to name or to explore?
I don't know. That one's hard. What is showing up as something?
Yeah, between like maybe, I don't know, the thing that's coming to mind, and so I'll just be transparent about what I'm experiencing as you're talking, which is there's something that's holding you in this weighty place, and I don't know what needs to be named or maybe explored that would allow you to move towards what really would feel lighter and more fun and energizing, I guess. And that's correct. Anything that I throw out there that doesn't resonate, but that's what I'm getting.
No, that's okay. That's good. Maybe there's something in there around my own capabilities of being able to, maybe there's something in there around my own capabilities of being able to take this project from where it is. It's quite technical, and it involves doing things, technical things that are not my strength or interest. So, I am a coach. I like coaching. I don't like doing technical stuff. And so it involves doing things that are not my, not my area of knowledge or strength. And I don't, that's okay. I have people who can support me. It doesn't have to be that I have to do everything. But I suppose it feels a bit, do I have the capability even to get through it and even to delegate stuff? And I am delegating stuff. I have a couple of people supporting me. So maybe it's a capability. Maybe it's a...
May I share a word?
Sorry, can you share a word?
Share a word? Yeah. The word that I'm wondering about is like how your level of responsibility for the project. I don't know if that's a word. That's
I don't know. I don't know. No, it's an interesting one. So I'll share so what's going on in the background of my mind as well is that this is the area of my project. It's getting into an area that's involves technical stuff, and there's a huge amount of work in getting into that, and I had underestimated the work. And it's like, in some ways, it's like young. I see other people doing it, and they're much younger than me, and they want that big challenge, and they're all motivated, and they're really building this stuff. And for me, it's like, I'm a coach, and this is like a little side bit I'm doing. I just wanted to do this it's not my main game. It was just a little side bit I'm doing, and I wanted it to help get coaching clients. I wanted it to help my main game. But it's become this massive thing. And I'm just thinking, do I, when I say have the capability, I guess it's not the technical capability. Do I have the capability to maintain the interest and the motivation?
Yeah, the energy for the challenge.
Energy for the challenge, And in doing something that it was just a side thing. It was just a side thing. It wasn't supposed to be my main business.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah. And as you hear this recognition that this was supposed to be something, and it's evolved and grown into something far heavier, and more than you ever expected. How do you discern where you step away from it or how long you stay with it?
That's what I'm struggling with. How where do I step away from it? Because if I just stepped away from it, in some ways that would be incredibly freeing. Just step away. But in another way,
you notice the shift in you when you're even visualizing that.
Oh, I know. No, there would be, in some ways it's quite a big, but I would also, I know I would also feel a sense of disappointment because, well, I'm very, technically it would be very hard to step away from it. I'm very embroiled in it and that. So technically that would be hard. And there would also be a sense of disappointment. So yeah.
What is the disappointment about? If you were to step away from it, what is that disappointment?
I guess that's a few things. That would be the time and effort I've put into it. I've put a huge amount of time and effort into it. It's been going on for 2 years. So disappointment in that. And I guess disappointment around the people who are supporting me with it. I would feel kind of like I let them down. They put work into it and then I'm not going anywhere with it. And I suppose maybe a bit of disappointment in myself of not, I don't know, in some ways I'd also go, I'll be proud of myself for just stepping away.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Say logistically though, there's some things involved that would make it, not good to just step away from it.
So stepping away from it, as in, I'm just not going to do it anymore, is one option, right? I mean, that's the one you're talking about. Are there ways that you could be stepping away from it if it were important to be stepping towards something else? Does it have to be all or nothing, right? I guess that's kind of the thought that I'm wondering about.
Yeah. I think there could be ways, and I think those would cost money. And I think so I haven't really worked out what money to spend on that. Yeah. And I guess that's one of the things is that probably is one of the things the project came about because I got a government grant to complete this project. So I'm not been willing to put in any additional funds beyond the money that I received in the grant. And so in a way, I guess I'm trying to do it within those boundaries. Mm-hmm. So then I suppose the decision comes, the decision would be, if I'm going to go ahead with it, then do I just spend more money for something that I don't know is going to work? It is a bit of an experiment.
And that I think is a really interesting question. Like, how much more do you invest in it, whether it's finances or energy or attention, which makes me think about that whole tension between you're already energetically spending energy on it, right? And what would it take for you to complete it so that you could move on? And what is the energy that would require as separate from the I'm going to be stepping away from it, and the whatever the cost of that then is? Like, there's going to be cost no matter what you do, is almost what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So what is the cost if you're to be all in and stop spending energy wishing you weren't in, and just do it and get it done? Or, and I'm not sure it's an or, but I'm just saying it is an or, so take it as an and or an or, you know, finding a way to step out of it in a way that resonates with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I guess it is costing me. That's a good point. It is costing me anyway, even though I'm not actually paying out money. It's costing me time and energy and frustration, and what else is it costing me? Just,
I don't know. How are you sleeping? How are you eating? How are you enjoying your life? What is that experience that you're having day to day?
Well, I'm actually pretty good at putting it aside. And I put it aside sometimes, like I put it aside for about 2 months, but it's always there, you know, and I know I have to go back to it. I mean, even now I'm having, you know, as wonderful as this conversation is, right? I'm spending time having a conversation about it. So it's costing me in that. And actually, it's really true. To be honest, if I keep going, the way I'm going, it's probably never going to get completed, and then it will always be hanging over me, and it will never get completed to the point where you know, I think it's good enough or that. But yeah, and it's just it isn't. It's not what I enjoy spending my time on. You know, I don't enjoy logging into a site and creating things, and, you know, setting things up on a website. That's just not what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So that's I'm kind of coming to this thought that I probably have to seriously sit down and work out how much money, how much it would cost, how much I'm willing to put into it, just to get it, just to even get it working, so that I can just say, and because I guess what I want to do is get it working to a point where I can say, is this worth it? Like right now it's not working, so I can't even tell whether my original intention for it was worth it. So if I can get it to that point, I can then assess, was this worth it? And that's likely going to cost me some money to get it to that point.
Mm-hmm. And as you hear yourself saying that, what is the awareness that is important for you to acknowledge?
That I actually, that I need to be more strategic with things.
In what way?
I tend to be quite an optimist, actually, and I tend to just go into things thinking it'll work out, and sometimes they do. And but yeah, I probably need to be more strategic and think about, actually look at this. I need to look at this more as a business decision. Do some analysis, do some numbers, and think of it and think, okay, how much am I going to put in? What am I going to get out of it? I don't know. I don't know exactly what I get out of it, but I do know that while it's not working, I'm getting nothing out of it. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that I can feel that myself as you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now I'm getting nothing out of it. There's nothing.
So when you're thinking of moving towards lightness and you're feeling of moving towards energy, what maybe it's in the strategy, or maybe it's in the mindset, supports that ability then to begin to do what needs to be done in order to be able to take those next steps towards where your energy gets fueled, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't find the idea of strategizing particularly light. I know.
Yeah, me either.
Light. And I'm thinking of an assessment I use myself, and I've taken myself, analyzes pitfalls is not my strength, and strategizing is not my strength.
I'm a bit more in the optimism bucket with you, I think.
Yeah, nice light things. I think I need people to help me strategize with it. I think I need people to help me. So the person who's supporting me with it, I can certainly call on her. I can strategize with her. That would be a really good place to start. But I'm wondering, maybe there's someone, maybe I should get somebody, maybe there's someone else I can speak to, just to get a different perspective on the actual business strategizing part of it. Yeah. And I suppose working out. Anyway, that wasn't your question. I was getting into detail.
Well, I think it's really interesting because you're like processing something there. It sounds like you're coming to some sort of clarity around what you might need to be thinking about as you move forward. But I could be wrong, but it seemed that way to me. What is going on for you as you're hearing yourself think about this out loud?
Well, I guess what's going on is, there needs to be some strategizing. I probably need to put some money into it. And even doing that, even doing the strategizing, I can't walk away completely, because it's, what's being created is my content. So I still have to provide that. So I think this is where the acceptance comes in. So it's not going to be, just reality. It's probably not going to be as light as I want it to be.
And can you be okay with that reality?
I think if I can make it, I don't know, if I can make it lighter than it is now, if it can be lighter than it is now, I mean, some stuff in life isn't light, is it?
Yeah, but when you're doing something with a website or with an app or with a program or something, I mean, it can be a lot lighter than you juggling so much yourself. I mean, that's a guess on my part because I'm not, and I don't need to have the details of what all it is, but I am wondering, like, what if you were to stick in it and you were to see it through, what would be needed in order to bring lightness to you so that you were doing the parts of it that most were energizing for you?
I think so the parts of it that do energize me are around the content creation, because I like doing that. And from the bits of it, I mean, I've got it to a certain point and I've pilot tested some of it. And so the parts that energize me was when I connect with people and they tell me that they've learned great stuff from it, then, you know, anything to do with the people part of it. And that's the energizing, I think. And I think the person who's supporting me with it, she's been great. And I think her view is kind of like, Carol, I'll show you how to do these technical bits yourself so that you don't have to pay me to do them in the future. And because she says they're really quite easy. You know, you can just do them yourself. You don't need me to do them. But then I don't like doing them.
Look at your face.
Yeah. You know, I don't like doing them. I really rather pay someone else to do them. And maybe she doesn't want to do them. You know, maybe she doesn't. She's, you know, she might not. So maybe I have to find someone else to do it. But yeah, I think she's kind of said to me, yeah, I'll just show you how to do this. It's you know, it's really, it'll only take you 10 minutes, you know, it'll only take you half an hour. This is really quite easy. You can do all of this. And I think, oh yeah, okay, you know, I can, but yeah, the reality isn't really.
I'm really struck with, yeah, I can, but do I want to?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, like I can do this, but do I want to do it? No, I don't want to be doing that. Yeah. I don't want to be doing that. And that's not, at the end of the day, I don't feel like, oh, that was a great day. I
online. Just love that half hour with the
yeah. Yeah. So that's the heavy bit. And then there's technical issues as well. And then I'm dealing with them. But again, like, why am I dealing with those?
It's a really interesting question. What comes up for you as you hear yourself ask that?
That well, the technical stuff has to get sorted out. And yeah, why is it me that has it? So I'm the IT guy, I'm always in touch with him. And again, maybe someone else can be in touch with him. I really don't want to know plugin installed. Yeah. You know, I suppose so this would be better. And I guess again, being strategic, there's a level of me understanding enough. So I was going to say, so that I'm not completely dependent on other people. But is that necessary? I don't know. I mean, there's technical parts about my website that I'm, you know, obviously I'm completely dependent on other people. I don't have that expertise. So I always have to pay somebody to fix the technical problems.
Yeah. So as we started this, it was to move from this sort of heavy, weighty thing, that was the challenge that you weren't interested in towards something more light and energizing. What else needs to be named that's between the weighty and the light and energizing? Anything, is there anything else in there that really needs to be uncovered?
I think the willingness to take a risk and say, okay, if I'm going to put some money into this, if I'm going to find a way to go, and I don't know 100% that it's going to be a valuable thing. I just don't know. But I do, as I said, I do know that right now it's not valuable. It's not serving any purpose at the moment. And it's sort of got to that point where, yeah, if I have any chance of making it a valuable thing, I think I actually have to get more support than I've got now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so I think it's accepting that I'm taking a business risk. I'm trying something out and it may work and it may not work.
Yeah. How does that shift in the languaging between I need to do everything and I have to either walk away, or it's a business risk and I need to kind of suss out the business risk and make some decisions about that? Because it's like any other risk at that point, right? Like any other business risk you might make where you're making an investment towards something that may pay off down the road.
Yeah, I think that language feels better, actually. It's a business risk. I can kind of see it when I say it's a business risk. I guess I can kind of see it as a separate thing. It's something. I suppose it would be like, I don't know, taking a new course. I don't know if that really is going to pay off. Although that one, I always feel like I get something. But I don't know, buying some kind of machinery or some equipment or something. You don't know if this thing is going to pay off or not. And it is a business risk. And I suppose I've had a huge support with that, with getting the government grant for the work that's been done so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I just see it as something separate, I think that's how I really have to just see it. And almost I'm seeing it as like, if I'm kind of seeing it as if I project manage it. I'm not doing it, I'm project managing it.
How does that feel energetically as you hear yourself say project managing it?
That feels better. I mean, it's not complete lightness, but again, I'm aware that there's never going to be, it's work, right? So there's never going to be complete lightness. But if I'm kept more at a distance, and I think I have to have, I mean, just getting on a practical level, I'm really thinking of a conversation I need to have with the person who does my support to see what level she wants to take on.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't, but just have a really clear
Or maybe she does until you ask, you don't know, right? Right?
No, I don't know. I haven't asked. I think her view is, yeah, like, I'll show you how to do this. So you can just do it yourself. Yeah. So anyway, so looking at it as a business risk, a business possibility, something I'm kind of taking on. And I think the other thing that's coming up for me is recognizing that I'm working with what I've got, and there could be other technical solutions out there. Like, I know other people working on similar projects, and they're like, oh, I use this app, oh, I use this, and oh, there's a million things to choose from. But you know what, I'm working with this one. It might not be like the best in the world, but get get what I have going, give that a chance, see how that works. And then if that doesn't work out, again, it's a business risk, but don't, I guess not throwing something away before I know whether or not it's going to work.
Yeah. I can really appreciate that also. That needing to, there's some piece that needs to be worked through before I can whatever, right?
Yeah.
As through this conversation, I'm curious, what are your insights or awarenesses that have shown up that are useful to you today?
I think that well, a few things, a number of things that right now, I'm not getting any value out of the thing that I'm creating. And if I want to get any value out of it, I likely need more help. I need more help than what I'm getting. I'm getting help, but I need more help than what I'm getting. And that's probably going to cost me money.
Yeah.
So just the reality of that. And then then connected with that, I'm going to have to do some strategizing, some thinking about it to think about how much money I want to put in, what I'm willing to get it to. So that's coming up. And then the other thing is, it's even with other people helping, there's still going to be work for me. It's my course. I have to make videos of me, so nobody else can do those for me. But if all the other pieces are supported, if all the other bits are done, actually, you know what's coming up for me? I said I want to project manage it. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't. I want someone else to project manage it. And I want them to tell me what to do. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to, that's what I don't want to have to say, okay, this is what needs doing. You do this, do this, do this. I want them to say, this is what needs doing, Carol. You make your video and you put it in here, and then I just make my little video. That's what I want. I don't want to project manage it.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's energy, isn't it?
Yes, that is energy. What does that energy tell you?
It tells me I'll have to work in a different way. I'll have to work in a different way. Yeah. It also tells me that I'm not sure if the person who's supporting me now, if she wants to be that person to project manage it.
Yeah. Yeah. It clarifies the conversation though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the next steps as you have this awareness? What are your next steps as you move forward towards more energy and lightness around this project?
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually feeling lighter. I don't want to project manage it. That's actually feeling much lighter. The next steps would be to do some thinking, strategizing. Not even sure how to do that, but anyway, to think about that, and then definitely to have a conversation with the person who does my support, see where she stands on that, whether she's interested, and really being serious about, if she's not, then maybe looking for someone else who is.
Yeah. And is there anything that would get in your way of taking these next steps that you need to take to think about it, to do the strategy part that is yours, and to have these conversations?
there's nothing that will get in the way of me having the conversation with my support person. That one's pretty easy. That one is easy. The strategizing, the thinking about it. No, I can do that, and I'll do that in my own way. You know, I'll actually probably go for a walk in the park or something and think about it. That's, you know, I'm not going to sit down with a spreadsheet, which might be a wise thing, but I'll probably just think about it. And then, so think about, I need to think clearly about what to say to her when I have a conversation, like what it is that I'm saying. And then following on from that, I maybe need to think about, if she doesn't want to do it, what we're doing it. Mm-hmm. And I guess I need to be clear with her. If I say to her, look, I don't want to project manage it, I'm looking for somebody to take on more of the work, she's going to want to know, well, what does that look like for her? Yeah. So I need to think about that. Yeah. What is project managing it for someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to look at, I suppose that's it, is I need to look at what else can be done.
It almost sounds like there's a new direction that we could explore, but I am considering our time. How did we do on getting some movement from weight towards energizing lightness?
Well, I'm feeling a lot more energized around thinking of it just as a business risk, and it's something separate. Just recognizing that is a thing, and I probably need to spend money on that. And I'm really feeling more energized around this thing that I don't want to project manage it. And so getting somebody to do more of that, whether or not they can do it completely, I don't know, but getting somebody to do more of that. Yeah.
There was an amazing little lilt that showed up in you when you, I don't want to do the project, man. Like, that was hilarious. It was wonderful.
Yeah, no, I felt that energy. That I thought, no, I don't actually want to do that. I want someone else to do that, and I want someone to tell me what to do.
Yeah. Does this feel like an okay place to bring a close? Is there anything you need to capture for yourself or name out loud as we come to a close, or does this feel okay?
I think this feels good. Yeah, I'm just looking at what I have written down. Yes. No, this feels good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being, my partner in this and allowing me to noodle through this with you. I really appreciate that.
Oh, appreciate it, Lyssa. Thank you very much. That's been really helpful. Certainly got some new thoughts on that.
Yeah, you gotta love coaching.
Yes.
I'm going to pull a pause here.
Okay.